We welcome you to another live edition of the Sports Box, brought to you by our sponsor, Showcase Sports in Hamilton. Showcase Sports for the elite athlete. And by our friends over at CrowdPlay. Download the free CrowdPlay app today and check them out at www.crowdplayapp.com for details. Ladies and gentlemen, it's showtime.
And welcome everybody to another edition of here on Unsportsmanlike Conduct here on the Sports Box. I am your host, Paul Macrie, alongside co-host, as always, Big B, Mike Velardi, here on this Monday evening. What's going on?
Paulie!
You doing the Villanova, V?
No. Well,
or you're doing
listen, I said they were going to lose, but I'll take it. You know.
Well, you're not the only one.
I picked the wrong upsets to happen. That was one of them I thought was going to happen.
Yeah, you said Winthrop.
I said Ohio. I said Ohio versus Virginia.
Didn't you say UNC Greensboro?
No.
Over Florida State?
Don't be saying stuff that's not true, Paul.
Yeah, you did.
No, I did not. Go look at the text. I don't care.
You said, I don't know. You said it was 13 seed. I don't remember.
My bracket has Ohio in the first round.
Yeah, Ohio. And
let's get to that. Let's get to that. Let's get to a little March Madness update.
Yeah, because it is living up to its name, the madness part, that's for sure. A ton of upsets. And I mean, you're talking about right now a 11 taking on a 14 seed. Well on their way to winning. UCLA is going to beat Abilene Christian. It's 58-36 with about 5 and change left. Yeah, and Creighton also up big at the half. Was it 39-24 or something like that at the half? So
Oregon had a statement win today. I actually caught a little bit of it on my break. I've never seen a team shoot true threes like that in my life. They were just throwing them up and they were going in. It was crazy. I mean, dude, Iowa scores 80 points. You think they're going to win the game?
Yeah, you know what I mean? Oregon put up 56 in the first half. Final score 95-80. So a lot of offense. Oregon shot nearly 56% from the field. 11 of 25, but they didn't. I mean, 25 free-point attempts isn't a ton.
50%, it's almost 50%. That's great.
No, I'm talking about overall though. 25 3-point attempts compared to 68 overall attempts, which you figure in this day and age, the way the basketball works, NBA and college, it's a 3-point game.
Yeah, them and Iowa are one of the top 3-pointing. I think I read that they're both tops in 3-pointers shot.
Yeah.
Attempts on absolute fire. Meads.
And, Gonzaga, who is the easy right now, the way things are going and shaping up, Gonzaga is the favorite, and they avoid any type of drama in their game. A 16-point win over Oklahoma in the second game of the day, which was around 2:30. So Gonzaga advances to the Sweet 16 without any issues as well. So, they remain undefeated. What are they, 28-0 on the season? Counting obviously what they did in the regular season. And we will see. I mean, obviously things will get harder as things go along, but you would have to think with the type of talent Gonzaga has, they probably have, they have what, 3 – I'm just talking about next level talent. I think they have 3 guys that are potential lottery picks this year, Gonzaga. So they have, guys are – used to be just guys that are very good college players, but now it seems like they are getting those guys.
Adam Morrison?
Yeah, like he was a college player, played in the NBA for a little bit, but didn't have much success.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about guys now that can be like difference makers in the NBA. That's what type of talent they have.
How about the draw UCLA gets? They beat
Michigan State in the first 4.
They have. Yeah. Listen, for all intents and purposes, they had a cupcake right now. It's a cupcake, okay? And they're smashing them right now by almost.
Yeah, Abilene Christian beating Texas, right? Obviously, it was a fortunate break for them.
So, listen, do I think UCLA is a powerhouse? No, I don't. But they're
Pac-12 is
right now.
Pac-12 is doing very well in this tournament.
Let's say Maryland knocks off Alabama. UCLA can go to the Final Four or Elite 8 at least. That's crazy.
But I think right now one of the storylines is Big Ten struggling in this tournament. Like you had, they have 9 teams get in.
Yeah.
Now it's down to what? It's down to Michigan and Maryland. I think that's it. It's crazy. Ohio State lost Earl Roberts in the first round.
You said you liked Florida State to get to the Final Four, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. I think I had Texas still winning it all in the only bracket I did, so it doesn't matter. I haven't even looked. Yeah, I had Texas winning it all.
Shaka?
Yeah, I mean they won the Big 12. I like to go with teams that are building off solid momentum going in the from a conference tournament.
Not teams losing to Abilene Christian.
Yeah, I didn't think that was going to happen. And obviously, we see tonight Abilene Christian not giving much of a fight, down 21 late in that game. So we got good games, though, coming up. LSU Michigan is coming up very soon. That game is on CBS. So that's a Michigan, the 1 seed against number 8 LSU. And a lot thought that LSU, or a good amount thought LSU was going to lose to St. Bonaventure in that first round game. It was a weird spread. It was LSU only 1.5 or something like that. They were only favored by a very small margin.
Paul, I got a trivia question for you. I'm going to throw this out to you right now, since it has something to do with Abilene Christian. What Philadelphia Eagle was a 6th round pick out of Abilene Christian?
I should know this. I almost feel like it's something that.
And he was a very prominent Eagles player. It wasn't like he was a cupcake. I'll make it a little bit. He was an offensive player.
Harold Carmichael.
Close. You're in the right vicinity.
Mike Quick.
Nope. As far as years, you're in the right year. Time frame.
Okay, so 70s, 80s.
Anybody want to guess? I know Medio and Brian T aren't really Eagles fans, but Abilene Christian alumni. I believe in the NFC Championship game, he scored a 37-yard touchdown against the Dallas Cowboys.
Wilbert Montgomery, then.
Wilbert Montgomery, 6th round pick.
Wow.
Out of Abilene Christian, 1977 and 1985.
What do they even have a football program now?
Are
they 1AA? They have to be 1AA, I would think, in football.
Darryl Richardson was the last pick in 2012 that made his name out of anything, so I guess they do.
It's got to be a 1AA, I would think, though. But that's a good one. Wilbert Montgomery. So that.
I'm trying to see if there's anybody else. Remember Danielle Manning? For the Bears?
Yes. I do remember him, yeah.
He's from there.
Is he from there? Okay.
Yeah.
Colorado is taking on Florida State 4-5.
Yeah.
That's going to be a good one. As I said, the Pac-12 is playing pretty well right now, so Colorado destroyed Georgetown, and I thought Georgetown was going to win that game.
That was where you were wrong. I told you.
Yeah, they destroyed them. I was right about Syracuse winning, though. I didn't think they were going to beat West Virginia yesterday. But
yeah, listen, Georgetown, they came into this thing where they won. Please, they're not a Big East champion. Come on, it was a bad. Villanova had a bad year. It's just, well, I shouldn't say a bad year. A bad time getting out of that tournament. It opened up the door for a bunch of teams. Yeah. Georgetown's at the end there. See, Brian T said, looks like you have some dust on that hat.
It's from 2018, dude.
Chris Wilson. Houston is a dark horse, and Cats can beat Baylor. Jay Roy is the best Big 5 coach ever. I
agree with all of his statements. I do think, as I'll get into Villanova a little bit, Houston, that game, Rutgers just flat at the end. Half-court offense was awful at the end. They were holding the, obviously trying to play some of the clock and trying to get that shot clock down. But when you're only up like 5 or 6 points with 2 minutes left, I don't know if that's the best. I think they weren't aggressive enough, and I think they kind of got too hesitant and too apprehensive, and that's what cost them. And they ended up blowing that game last night, Rutgers. But yeah, Houston is that Kelvin Sampson, right? He's the head coach of the Cougars. So, they're strong as a 2 seed. They survive and advance against Rutgers coming back. Villanova, on the other hand, give them credit. People thought the Winthrop game they were going to lose a good amount. They didn't play a great game, but they won by 10. They, didn't rebound particularly well. Last night they put it all together. What people were saying, okay, they played the 13th seed North Texas, but North Texas did beat Purdue, played a solid game, and Villanova, after falling behind, I think it was 18-11 early, they turned up a couple of threes.
Listen, no.
Shot I think it was 55% from three last night.
I get what you're saying, but look, they fell into a pretty good bracket right now to get to Baylor.
Well, they're playing Baylor now. They're playing the second best team in the country.
I'm not saying that they're not. This is going to be tough, but apparently Brian T says Baylor wins, Baylor covers, Baylor destroys. So
that's what he wants. But he doesn't break. He doesn't know anything about college basketball.
He wants that because he wants,
though. It's what he wants. Because he hates Villanova. Just for whatever reason, he hates them. I don't understand. It's not like it's the Eagles. Like I don't or one of the major Philadelphia sports teams. I don't get the hatred. But anyway,
we're under of how many goals the Flyers are going to give up tonight. By the way.
Well, they've given up, 3 or more the last 12 games
75 games? Who knows? I don't know.
Yeah, it seems like it's a lock. At least 3 or 4 they'll give up tonight.
They might give up 6 tonight. That might be good for them. Sorry.
But to get back to Villanova real quick, Robinson Earl played great last night. Cole Swider, a couple of those guys off the bench, Antoine off the bench. Villanova is in what city, Paul? It's in Radnor. But
wow.
It's in Radnor, but it's
fine.
Hold
on for a second. Hold on real quick.
It's a half hour.
We have breaking news here on the Sports Box. Brian T was wrong. Breaking news.
Well, they call it Villanova, Pennsylvania too, but I think it's really the city is Radnor.
But I think he was insinuating that it's in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. That's what he's going with that.
It's not. Brian had to have known it's outside of Philadelphia.
I don't know. Brian T's wrong. He's wrong. Go ahead, Paul. I'm sorry.
Anyway, Baylor Nova Saturday night. It's a 5:15 game on CBS. It should be. Baylor's playing well right now.
Your other team lost.
Who?
Clemson lost. They stink.
Yeah, in basketball, not really. I wanted.
You're a fan of all the teams.
Yeah, but I didn't mind Rutgers winning. That's fine.
Unbelievable.
But
what about Ryder? Is Ryder in the NIT?
No, they haven't been in the NCAA tournament since 1994.
No, NIT, CBI, whatever the hell it's called.
No, I don't think they're anything. They went like 6-18 this year.
That's terrible.
Or I think they played even less games than that. But I thought for sure, they're a Big Five Philadelphia area school. But I want to be Baylor. Didn't you think Wisconsin would have? It seemed like yesterday, anytime Wisconsin cut it to like 6 or 7, Baylor just had the response in the second half, and they look like they're strong now. Defensively, they look like they really clamped things up. The first 2 games, Baylor's played well, and I think right now they're the second favorite for a reason. And Villanova's going to have to play. Can you expect Villanova to shoot just like they did last night? No. Shooting near 60% from the field. This has not been a good 3-point shooting team this year in Villanova. This is probably one of the worst Jay Wright 3-point shooting teams he's had in quite a while.
Oh, yeah.
Defensively, I thought they rebounded much better last night. And North Texas had a big kid inside that was bigger than anybody Villanova had. But obviously, athletically, Villanova is going to destroy a team like North Texas that obviously isn't getting those type of recruits.
Right.
But I think it just, Villanova's going to have one of those type of shooting performances again, and I don't know if they could do it. And I don't know if they're good enough defensively. I think they got their work cut out for them for sure. But since Attard said that Baylor's going to win, destroy, cover, all the above, you can put Nova plus 6.5. Bet that now with confidence. I'm not saying they're winning the game.
It's Marty Jones comparisons now.
So, so that year in 2004, he rooted against a horse. That's
Yes.
all he rooted against a horse.
You know what was even funnier? I mean, I am a true mush. That was the day of my college graduation party, and everybody was watching the TV. Oh, yeah, it's Marty Jones. And then freaking
really?
horse breaks his leg. Wherever the hell he does.
Yeah, I remember vaguely that. Yeah.
Unbelievable.
But LSU's off to a 13-6 start against Michigan. So
Michigan.
As we get close to the under 16 timeout here in that first game, UCLA, that's a final, so they officially advanced 67-47 final. So
what was the spread in that game? It was only like 6 or something, wasn't it? Or no?
I didn't even say it. If it was only 6, that was a surprise.
The Flyers did not dress Carter Hart tonight.
Why?
Brian Elliott and Alex Lyon. They said he needed a complete day off, a rest to watch.
So he can't rest on the bench?
Different perspective, Paul.
I guess in the event that Elliott got hurt or needed to get pulled, then
Paul, I'm going to tell you something, okay? Now listen, do I think Shane Gostisbehere is a good defenseman? No, I do not. Do I think that he should be on the Flyers? Probably not. How do you go from a healthy scratch for 3 games to being on the first defensive pairing unit tonight? Tell me that. Tell me how that works, Paul.
I don't know what Vigneault's doing right now, to be honest with you.
It's a Tards boy, AV.
But I'm trying to avoid talking hockey really right now. So, yes, as we go along here tonight, we'll say. I mean, really, I think I could see USC beating Kansas tonight.
I can see that.
The Mobley kid, Evan Mobley, he looked really solid. I mean, he's going to be one of the top 5 picks in the NBA draft coming up.
Coutinho
in the summer. What's his name? Evan? It's Coutinho's son, right?
Is it?
It's Coutinho's son, I believe. Yeah.
I would think so.
But Maryland, Alabama, I wouldn't be surprised if Maryland won that game.
I wouldn't be surprised if any team beats anybody right now. Look at the top of this bracket: Loyola, Chicago, and Oregon State, Syracuse, and Houston. Oral Roberts.
Yeah, Earl Roberts is playing Arkansas. So the winner of the Earl Roberts Arkansas
plays Baylor Villanova, right?
Yeah. So Villanova's toughest game is obviously clearly the one coming up.
That's what I'm saying. If Villanova can somehow get by this, it might be no flute girl this year.
Loyola is playing.
I'm sure Brian T will upload that for you soon.
Loyola is playing Oregon State, so it's an 8 versus 12 game on the first game on Saturday. So the schedule here for the regional semifinal Sweet 16 is Saturday and Sunday, Monday and Tuesday, as opposed to it used to be Saturday and Sunday. Monday and Tuesday is the Elite 8 games.
Right.
I don't know. I mean, I guess they're doing it for more rest and testing. I guess that's why they're doing it. But Syracuse plays Houston in the final game on Saturday. That should be Syracuse is now one team playing with confidence. Boeheim's son is playing well, shooting the ball great. So, he's one of those Cinderella type college basketball players, basically. So
I won't be coming to a group text near me because I'm not in that group text.
You just can't wait. But I keep telling them at this point, Villanova's playing with house money, obviously.
Yeah. At this point,
to the second weekend, that was not expected. To me, I thought for sure they were going to be out this.
Every other year, it's like they have to get to the Final Four. This year, it was like, okay, let's win a round.
Well, they were a 5 seed going in the tournament, and they were the regular season Big East champs. But when you lose a guy like you lose Connor Gillespie. I mean, it's tough. You lose one of your best players. Justin Moore's playing with a sprained ankle. It's been very tough.
Chris Wilson makes a fantastic point here. How does Purdue lose in their backyard, and you never bet against a 102-year-old nun?
Sister Jean doing it again. Loyola Chicago. I mean,
Purdue.
To get
that's amazing.
To the second
they
weekend.
Have to travel. They pretty much played in their backyard. They didn't have to travel, and they come out and look like that. It's terrible.
Right. Yep. So that's what's up.
We got some NBA news and notes coming up.
Yeah, we do.
I know that some of our guys on our Wednesday show, Baseline Jumper, Tony Quiggs, sometimes when Paulie Scoops wants to go on, he goes on. Meads, they dive into more of the NBA stuff. We just wanted to touch on some injuries that have been occurring in the NBA. We saw LeBron go down with a nice ankle injury. Looks like he's going to be out for a while. Joel Hans is dealing with, thank God, only a slight knee sprain, right? It could have been a bone bruise.
Bone bruise, whatever. He's had it before, though, and it turned out to be something worse. So who the heck knows? You never know what the Sixers, what it will turn into.
Brian T is he's a very angry elf tonight. These comments are just directed at you, Paul. He doesn't care when Nova loses. He don't give a F when they lose as long as they lose. I don't understand. He likes North Carolina, and you knew they were going to lose in the first round.
He's only a North Carolina fan because he hates Duke.
Right. And he's only a Rangers fan because he hates Flyers, and he's only
I think out of all the teams, he actually likes the Rangers just because they're Rangers.
I don't know. That's not what he says.
He's a fan of the Cowboys because he hates the Eagles. He can admit that now. He's a fan of the Yankees because he knows the people around here for some reason hate the Yankees.
All right.
And he hates the Red Sox.
Another good point here from Chris.
Yeah.
Okay, speaking of great Nova players, did the Sixers get Kyle Lowry? It's been talked about for a couple of weeks. Your boy, Vin Fosh, he keeps trying to hit the dartboard with a bunch of his trades that he has going on. Right. One day it's Laurie Markkinen, whatever his name is. One day it's Kyle Lowry. One day it's Terrence Ross. One day it's this. Come on. What's happening here? So who are we going to get, Paul?
Yeah, I mean, the trade deadline's Thursday, so I think they're going to do something.
He wants Toby gone bad. He hates Toby.
I don't know why. He's actually playing pretty well this year. I give him credit.
He has his old coach there with him, and we don't have Brett Brown doing nothing with him.
We know he's not. We know he's not a what he's getting paid. He's not a superstar player, but you could see right now he's taking the initiative with Embiid out and Simmons is not shooting down the stretch. He's playing a lot of ISO and he's winning the battles. I mean, he scored the last 5 points of last night's game and hit 2 foul shots to win the game in overtime by 1. So, and
he played good. I watched it. He played good. Danny Green kind of took over towards the end of the game and overtime.
Yeah, Danny Green had a nice stretch, last night as well. I mean, listen. I mean, they're finding ways. They're 3-1 since the Embiid injury. So, I mean, they're 30-13, 1 game back. I mean, they were up in the Milwaukee game last week by 20 at one point, I think, and just ran out of gas in the second half. They just didn't have much else. And I think that was the second game of a back-to-back last week. So that was a tough one for them to kind of will through. Against a Milwaukee team that's still. I see Milwaukee's won 6 in a row now, so they're playing very well. I see Atlanta Hawks have won 8 in a row. All of a sudden, they fire their head coach and they're 4th in the East. That's how bad the East is. But, I mean, the Sixers just got to kind of ride this wave right now without Embiid for the next couple of weeks. They got the West Coast trip this week. They're going to catch a break without LeBron against the Lakers. So no LeBron and no Anthony Davis already. So there's a chance they can win that game. Golden State has been without Steph Curry the last couple games, I know, with an injury. So who knows what they're going to, have going in that game. I think they play the Clippers on this road trip as well. So they got a 4-game West Coast trip here coming up starting tomorrow night. And listen, they went 1-3 the last West Coast trip. So you hope they can, if they can go 2-2, I think that would be pretty good, especially without Embiid. So, they're got 29 games left in the regular season. They're 43 games in. So, things are going to go quick, and we'll see how it all plays out. I'd like to get the 1 seed. I think that would be pretty important going to the playoffs because, what's the way things are looking, more and more fans it looks like they're going to be allowed back into these arenas with the more vaccinations that are coming out. So, I think home court advantage will be important again this year. So I think you want that. And you want that against Brooklyn if it comes down to it in the Eastern Conference Finals, or against the Milwaukee, in the second round or whatever. So no, Dave, I didn't go to Villanova. I went to Rider, but the story with me being a Villanova fan, because everybody always thinks I'm just a front runner, but if you really know me, like I've been a Villanova fan for pretty much my entire life. I mean, my mom worked in the law office where all those guys were Villanova law grads, and they used to give me Villanova stuff. They used to go to the games. Like I got a Kerry Kittle's poster, growing up, and just different. When they were pretty decent in the mid '90s with Steve Lapis, I remember getting a lot of stuff. So
did you put that poster over your bed on top of you so you looked at it?
The Kerry Kittle's poster I actually did at one point. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, so that is the reason why I stuck with it. Unfortunately, I didn't get into the school. I did apply there, and I just wasn't didn't have the SAT scores, or I guess, as it's hard will say, wasn't quite intelligent enough. So,
well, David's asking if Clemson plays Nova, who do you root for? But you kind of cross-reference your.
Yeah, I really don't. I know it sounds terrible to all of you, but I really don't root for Clemson for basketball. Like I don't. They're my football team.
You ever been to Little John Coliseum, dude?
No, for basketball, no.
I've been in there. I've been in Little John, and I've been to the Death Valley too.
Is it big, the Little John?
No, very tiny.
It's probably like 10,000 seats, maybe 8,000.
The Death Valley is fantastic, dude. I was inside the stadium, and you just look up, and it's just like, wow, the rock and everything. Oof. Yeah, it's like Birnbaum and his Will Smith poster. You're right.
Chris.
Actually, Chris, he has
not quite.
He has all of the bachelors lined up on a poster, and he looks up at them every night.
That is Birnbaum. Yes, that's accurate.
Fairweather fan, Cartwright's calling you out.
Mr. Syracuse seems pretty happy right now. His chest is sticking out. I don't see him right now, but I could basically, through his messages, seems to be pretty cocky right now. But hey, congrats to the Syracuse Orangemen. It's been a while for them to get to this point.
I'm gonna start calling baby Buddy Boeheim.
They did make that surprise Final Four run when nobody thought they would. What was it, 2016, the year Villanova won their first title.
How far did they get with Donovan?
With who?
McNabb.
Were
they in the tournament when he was there?
Yeah, maybe. Donovan came off the bench, didn't he?
I don't know if his senior year if he started, but
I don't think he did.
Dave would know.
It was before Melo, obviously. So
yeah, good question here by Chris. Well, it's not a question; it's a statement. Kittle's best Nova player ever. You agree with that?
He's one of, I would think.
Who would you go with?
And he had a pretty good NBA career, pretty solid NBA career as well. So,
who would you go with? You had to pick one.
I guess I'm a little bit more with the recent memory. 2006 and 2016 and 2018 championships. I mean, there was a lot of really good players on those teams and have actually done very well in the NBA so far. I mean, you look at guys like, Dante DiVincenzo, I think he had a pretty good college career. Ryan Arcidiacono is going to go down as one of the better ones. Kyle Lowry for their time and Alan Ray and that team in 2006 that lost to Florida in the Elite Eight. I mean, they had a couple solid players, but not as talented as these recent teams. They're talking about guys like Eric Paschall's in the NBA. Mikal Bridges is in the NBA.
Bridges boys are playing pretty good.
Yeah, Bridges, the Suns are playing pretty well. I mean, as we've been on the NBA theme, Suns are second in the West. So, and he's a big part of that team. So,
I got a text from Frank Lasasso. I guess he's not online. He said Howard Porter. He said, I don't know how far back Howard Porter played for Villanova, but I'd have to check. Rick Brunson. That's another good name.
When was he? In the 80s?
Brunson?
Rick Brunson?
Yeah.
You're talking not Rick Brunson. You're talking about
not Rick. Rick played for Temple, didn't he?
Yeah. The
Who's
father.
the other Brunson kid?
Yeah, it's I Can't think of his first name right now.
Isn't one of them coaching Camden High right now? Doesn't Rick Brunson, the kid, coach Camden High right now?
Jalen Brunson.
Jalen,
You're thinking of Jalen Brunson, who's with the Mavericks now.
Rick Brunson coaches Camden High School, I think.
Does he? I don't know. Isn't that Jalen? That's Jalen's father, isn't it, or no?
I'll tell you right now. I'm telling you.
Thought that was a connection. Yeah, his father played at Temple, and he went to Nova. And Brunson
Rick played at Temple.
Yep. Was he on the 80? He was on the 87 team.
Camden High School. He coaches now, and the Juan Wagner Jr. is playing for him right now.
And he's going to be one of the. What's he? Is he a senior? Junior or senior?
I don't think he's a senior. You know what? He might be.
I know they're already talking about him being in the NBA draft at some point. So,
right.
I don't know if he's committed to play at college yet, but Jalen Brunson was on that 2018 team. He was on 2016 as well. I think he was only a freshman now. Phil Booth, like guys like that, like good role players. They've got, but this
taking shots. Brian T's taking shots. Paul, can you answer for Nova Nation? You and Anthony Morella.
I was a Villanova fan though in 2004. I mean, sure, yeah, St. Joe. It was good to see that particular St. Joe team finish undefeated going into the A-10 tournament. But then I remember they lost in like their first round game against Xavier or something like that, if I remember correctly. But they still were the number one seed easily going into the NCAA tournament. And then they lost in the Elite Eight, right, that year? St. Joe?
Yeah. Then they didn't
get to the Final Four. I think they went to this Elite Eight.
What, the year that they – huh?
The St. Joe Hawks in 2004 when Jameer Nelson and West, I think, were both seniors. They did not make it to the Final Four. I think it was Elite Eight. They didn't make it to the Final Four. I know they finished their regular season before the conference tournament undefeated, but then they lost to Xavier, I believe, in the first round of the A-10 tournament that year.
Regionals?
Yeah, regional final.
Did they lose to Oklahoma State?
Yeah, I was just going to say they lost to Oklahoma State. That John Lucas, wasn't that John Lucas was the coach or something, or John Lucas's son was on the team or something?
I think so.
Yeah. Yep. So, yeah, that was back then. I don't recall who actually won the title that year.
Langston Galloway, Dwayne Jones.
Yeah, Langston Galloway played in the NBA for a while.
Yeah. It's a good team.
That was easily, obviously that was easily Martelli's best team, and they weren't going to. And then as soon as that was right before, I think it was actually the first year or the end of this Steve Lapis era, or it was right in the beginning of Jay Wright's tenure. And then 2006, 2007, 2008, when he started recruiting and getting guys that Martelli used to get, it was over for St. Joe. They couldn't compete then at that point.
Paul, not to switch gears, but are you watching the Flyers game right now or no?
No, I'm watching LSU Michigan.
Paul, who has the third most coaching wins of all time? And Brian T said he's the worst coach that he's ever seen.
Is Vino?
No, he's on the list. He's like 7th or 8th.
I was going to say, I thought he was like 8th or 9th.
It's Scotty Bowman, Joel Quenneville, and who's next?
He's second, Quenneville?
Who's next? This is a surprise, I think.
Is it Lindy Ruff?
No. Barry Trotz.
Trotz is third now?
Yeah. He's
I know they won a lot of I know he won a lot of games with the Capitals.
Brian T.
I didn't think he was coaching that long. I didn't think he coached for that long to have compiled that many wins.
Third all time. I mean, he has like 865, and Scotty, but there it is. Brian T. Regular season wins don't matter.
He has been a very good regular season coach. There's no question about that.
He has a cup, so
he does have one
by accident. There it is. Oh,
because they played an expansion team in the final, like it was their fault.
Right.
I love how you can't just like the Phillies when they won the 2008 World Series. People still say, "Wow, they played the Rays. If they would have played the Red Sox, they would have lost." I don't care. I don't care.
I don't care.
The bottom line is the Red Sox didn't take care of business against Tampa. They lost in 7.
You're right.
So
I agree.
Who was Trotz is in Nashville
He was.
before
That's where he
Laviolette?
went to Washington.
I don't remember him before Washington, to be honest with you. So I didn't know he
That's
coached
how
at
much hockey
Nashville.
you watch.
My memory of hockey doesn't really. I mean, I used to really be into hockey when it was. Well, ESPN's returning games for hockey, right? So maybe I'll get back in.
You're coming back. Now you're coming back.
Maybe if what's his name starts announcing games again.
Gary Thorne?
Yeah, Gary Thorne and Steve Levy and some of those older guys. Maybe I'll get back into it.
Gary Thorne was a good hockey analyst.
He was very good, yeah.
And then he went to baseball and he couldn't really.
He's the Orioles play-by-play. Yeah, he's the Orioles play-by-play for a good 10 years now, I think. Yeah.
He scores.
Is it 0-0?
It is somehow.
Wow.
Yeah.
Flyers playing defense or just?
There you go. Brian T is just on fire tonight. He's just unloading on everybody that has to do with Philadelphia. Anything that has to do with our teams.
I mean, really, right now, my only point I'm going to make about the Flyers, from what games I've watched here and there, there's something going on defensively, or why some of these kids that you thought were going to take the next step, like Sanheim and Phil Myers isn't playing good, right, either. I think Phil Myers has played pretty bad.
Well, listen, when your team gives up 9 goals and you're a minus
and the goaltending has been obviously deflating too lately. Elliott's been okay, but Elliott's just a backup for a reason. Like, he's not going to carry you.
Right.
So, and Hart right now just is having one of those young goaltending moments. We hope that's it, and we hope he can get his head straight and move forward here and become the franchise goaltender we think he can be and has shown in so far in his career at times. So,
right.
Okay, Brian, we know it's coaching.
I
can't take it. It's like he just wants to remind every step of the way that this is what he's been making points about for years now. I don't want to hear it anymore. I'm exhausted over it, to be honest with you.
I mean, you got to have some talent too to win, and they have no talent. Listen, I said this before. I don't want to make this a hockey thing, but I said this before. Look at other teams. Ovechkin, Crosby. I don't care how old they are. All these different teams. Who do the Flyers have? Giroux? Does Giroux take over games and win games? Voracek? Come on.
Well, you can't expect them. They really never took over games when they were in their primes because they weren't those type of players. But you can't expect them now in their early 30s to be doing it. But Farabee. It looks like Joel Farabee looks like he's going to be a pretty solid player. Like, he's already he's having a very, very nice season. Hayes is having a solid season, and JVR's having one of his better seasons right now. So,
listen,
some of their offensive guys are playing well.
Look at McKinnon for Colorado, McDavid.
Yeah.
If you go down the roster, I mean, the Devils stink too. They don't really have anybody. But who on the Flyers scares you? Nobody. They don't have a superstar to take over a game and do anything. Yeah, they just have solid. They have solid. I'm being realistic because I get it now, and they're not very good. They're not a good team. They don't have. Dude, I am so tired of watching Voracek every friggin' year skate into the zone, dump the puck, fall down, come on. I'm tired of it.
Down. He's not Hartnell. He could skate.
Couturier is. I honestly think that he's a great player, but he's not a guy who's going to take over a game for you. You know what I mean? He's a Selke winner. He's a good defensive forward. Bergeron's a little bit better than he is, but I kind of, compare him to him. But, I mean, come on. Nobody on this team scares you. Nolan Patrick's a number 2 pick. He hasn't done shit. As I'm saying, they can't hit on anything. They're like the Eagles. They can't hit on a draft pick. They can't hit on anybody. But Farabee does look pretty good. I like him right now.
All right, Chris, we might as well start to transition here a little baseball here as we are 10 days away till opening day, April 1st, next Thursday.
JT's supposed to play tonight or tomorrow, I think they said.
Well, they're playing right now against the Yankees, and to bring to Nola's point, I don't know if Chris knows this. Nola has so far 3 shutout innings, 1 hit allowed, 6 strikeouts against the Yankees. And I'm looking at the Yankees lineup. They have, LeMayo's in the lineup, Judge, Hicks, Stanton, Torres, Leiber. Jay Bruce is playing first. Urshela. I mean, they have basically their full lineup in, and so far so good. I mean, Nola has done this in the spring before. He's not a real good spring training pitcher, and that's fine. I think you have to just chalk it up to maybe he's experimenting with different things, and I haven't heard of anything to suggest that his velocity is down or anything like that. I just think it's, he's going to pitch opening day. Girardi made it official today. Not that, Girardi said that it was never a question. But I guess, of course, Philadelphia reporters want to hear it. So so he's going to be starting opening day. So he's got this start tonight and I think one more, and then we'll put him in line for, opening day. And, so far so good. I know coming in, he had like a 9 ERA. It's down to like 7.71. So yeah, obviously he hasn't been pitching that great lately here, but, I think the good news, Eflin, there was some concern about him. It got some good news today. He's been battling a little bit of a back issue, but all is well, it seems like at this point, and they think he'll be ready to make his turn, ready for the third start in the rotation that particular weekend. So you're going to deal with that opening weekend, Nola, Wheeler, and Eflin against the Atlanta Braves to start the long baseball season.
Paul, what do you think about this comment from Chris Fallon? I'll let you read it.
Rangers draft picks looking like the Eagles draft picks lately.
Kako, Lafreniere, these guys aren't doing anything.
I don't want this to be the Brian Attard show, so I don't even want to comment. We're trying to make it our show. He can say what he has to say about his hockey team tomorrow night.
On his show?
Yes, exactly. This is our show.
This is our show. You're right.
This is Paul Macrie and Mike Velardi.
That is right. You're right.
We
don't get asked to be on other shows.
That's fine. I'm not losing sleep over it. Hoskins has an RBI double tonight in spring training.
All right.
He's hitting 208. Listen, I'm not gonna. Well, the lineup, no Harper tonight in the lineup. Matt Joyce is DH, and I think Matt Joyce is gonna make the team as one of their backbenches.
Listen, he's a MLB veteran.
Yeah,
he'll give him some good at bats.
Yeah,
he's not the guy who's going to start for you, but I think a Dubas.
No. I mean, that's not the field. Yeah, obviously they didn't bring him in to start, but bring him in off the bench, and he's a lefty, so give him. I think he looks like he's on track right now, and I think you're looking at Hideo Herrera is going to be, even with him not really setting the world on fire, but he's really the best of a bad mix of center field options right now, because I don't think you can trust Quinn to be that everyday guy because he always gets hurt. I think it's going to end up being Herrera, or it could just be a platoon. I don't know. But Kingery's not playing well either, and it's already getting to the point where doesn't Kingery have AAA options that they're already talking about him being in the minor leagues to start the season?
Oof.
That would be for somebody that basically has been in the majors.
Wait, is that true or no? Is he heading to the minors?
He could. They're talking about it. It's not for sure. They're talking.
You're going to pay a guy $5 million a year to go sit in the minors? Well, he did it last year with Odubel, I guess.
But I think really what we wanted to see in the spring, not necessarily. The hitting is the hitting. They'll be fine. The bullpen, you wanted to see something there, and you are seeing Jose Alvarado.
Yeah.
He looks really good right now, and let's hope that continues, and let's hope he stays healthy, because last year obviously he battled injuries, weight concerns, out of shape concerns. He came to Philly, man on a mission after getting traded, and he looks really good. He looks like he could be that dominant piece to the back end of the bullpen they've been looking for a while. Now, Archie Bradley is going to be the closer. But Alvarado right now is going to be in a lot of high leverage spots late in games, and That's what they needed, and I think they got looks like a really good piece there. And we'll see who else makes the team amongst these minor league contracts. Tony Watson, that left-handed specialist in the mix. Brandon Kinsler, I think will make the team. I would anticipate coming off the year he had last year with the Marlins. So you got some better options in the bullpen, and it looks like their bullpen, obviously we know it can't get worse. We know it's going to be better, but how much better will it be? That will be the determination here.
I could forget about Hector Neris.
He actually has had a good spring, but once again, with Neris, we've seen it too many times where he goes through those types of stretches and then he can't get – but I think now that he's not the closer, maybe he'll handle a less pressure spot in the 7th, 8th inning a little bit better than the closer. He just couldn't handle being the closer full time. So I think now in a different role, perhaps he'll be much better. We'll see. Wow.
Is he trying to talk about? Is Brian T trying to talk about Dominguez? Chris Warhol's boy?
Sir Anthony?
Sir Anthony. I don't know where Jason came from. Is that what he's trying to get at? Is Sir Anthony an option this year?
Still recovering from Tommy John. At best case, they're saying July or August, I think, right now. Yeah, so he's got a little bit ways to go to be an option. Because he waited a while.
Yeah, another turn.
To have the surgery. He waited till like May or June when the season was shut down. So it's not going to be a full year from the surgery until June. So you have to figure at least a couple of months after that. At this point,
Paul, who did you lose to in fantasy basketball this week?
Your son.
Yeah, you did. He was very fired up.
I did. I'm happy for him. I did have
fired up to beat you.
I did have a lot of injuries though, and I just didn't feel like I can't drop anybody. You only get 3. We get 3 drops in that league or something. Yeah. So I couldn't really drop anybody. So it is what it is. Like what's his name? That Egregious Alexander. He was hurt the whole week. So a couple other guys.
All right. So he's talking about, I guess, the Yankees all-world prospect.
That guy. Yeah. Okay. Everybody. All the comparisons on somebody that's dominant at a minor league level or whatever.
Especially Yankees guys. They never come to fruition. They'll trade them anyway.
The next Trout. That's always the thing. The next Trout. I don't want to hear it.
Yeah.
So, baseball's coming. It's almost here. This is the last full week of spring training. And then we will see, I guess, the final who makes the team. Obviously the regular 25-man, but then they're still going to carry, I think, a couple extra due to COVID concerns. So we'll see how it all plays out here. We'll make some of our predictions, I guess, for the season next week. Since next week will be.
We'll give you a baseball season preview next week, Paulie. That's what our show's going to be next week. We'll talk a little bit about how the NCAA tournament is, and we'll go right into baseball predictions. We'll give you a little old Diamond Cutters show.
Well, we're supposed to have the Diamond Cutters show next Thursday.
We ain't doing nothing. Don't worry about that.
Well, we're supposed to have a show. If not, my boss Brian Attard will not be happy if we don't. So we're going to have a show next Thursday, April Fool's Day, actually opening day edition of Diamond Cutters.
Oh, all right. I wasn't asked to be on that one either.
You can come on and be our producer.
Unbelievable.
You can. We need a producer because I don't want to do it. So
producer, I ain't gonna sit there and produce your show.
Well, you can come. You could be producers of shows.
What about the Masters? We got the Masters too coming up. We gotta let.
Well, that's not till the following week. The Masters is April 8th to 11th.
Shut up, Brian. I'm done. The show's over.
You are mad tonight.
Me? I'm trying to stick up for you.
You should be happy. You golfed today.
Yeah, for a little bit. It was nice to get out.
What did you play, 9?
Yeah.
was going to say, there's no way you played 18.
It was nice to get out, but there's 385 people on Ron Jaworski's Valley Brook Golf Course.
Did you go by yourself?
Yeah. I'm a loser.
How much did you pay? Was it $20?
Jaworski pass, baby, $25.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And you know somebody, too.
It's all good, man. It's all good.
You know that Syracuse grad that came on and was talking smack earlier?
He don't help me do anything, that guy.
Oh, yeah, he's not a good friend. You're right.
No, I didn't say that.
Anyway.
We're getting the course all nice and ready for you, Paul. Just to let you know, before you make divots on the tee box.
Dave, I haven't played since last Labor Day weekend.
I think he's asking me. Yeah. He might be asking me.
He already knows I didn't.
I played good today, actually. For the 9 I played.
Yeah, you didn't answer.
Don't forget our new sponsor, Showcase Sports in Hamilton. Jaws does love the sports box. Don't forget our shows for the upcoming week. They are listed on our Facebook page and Twitter, I believe. And Gio wants to come say goodnight to everybody. There he is.
There he is.
Giancarlo Stanton's getting ready to start baseball soon. All right. Say bye to everybody.
Is he almost how old? He's almost 3 or 2?
Only 2 in a couple weeks. That's how much you know, Paul. Thanks.
I said 3 or 2. I couldn't remember the age. I'm sorry.
Unbelievable. His mother's standing right over here. She's pissed off at you. She's looking at me.
Because I said 2 or 3. I mean,
it's not you, Paul. It's not you, Paul.
Yeah, you're always mad at your husband. We get it.
Of course. Why not? All right. Let's shut it down, G. You want to shut it down, Paulie?
Yeah, well, that is it for another edition here of Unsportsmanlike Conduct. Thanks, everybody, again, for chiming in. We really didn't get into much football. I know there was some free agency talk.
We don't need to.
But really the second wave of free agency. The draft is April 29th, so we got plenty of time to talk about that over the next month or so. And the better golfer is me right now over a 2-year-old, Dave, to answer your question. I will not concede to a 2-year-old under any circumstances.
That's fantastic.
So that is it for tonight's show. Thanks for everybody again for chiming in. And we will see you next week. Enjoy your week, everybody. Paul Macrie once again with Big V, Mike Velardi, and with his son, Gio, who's ready for bed.
Yeah, he's getting ready.
That is it.
See you guys
Take care,
later.
everybody. Enjoy the NCAA tournament. We'll see you next week.
Later.
Thank you for watching the Unsportsmanlike Conduct Show on the Sports Box. Please remember to follow us on all of our social media outlets. On Facebook at SportsBox Show, Twitter at SportsBox Show, Instagram at The SportsBox Show. Find us on YouTube and join Outside the Box, our Facebook sports discussion group. The Sports Box is brought to you by our sponsor, Showcase Sports in Hamilton. Showcase Sports for the elite athlete. And also our friends over at CrowdPlay. Download the free CrowdPlay app today and use promo code THEBOX at sign up for 10 free points. Thank you for joining us.